Welcome to the PCL Heat Stress Prevention Module. The purpose of this module is to prevent heat-related illnesses by requiring the recognition, evaluation, and control of potential heat stress conditions resulting from weather and/or processes. If we can't maintain our balance, we may suffer from heat-related illnesses. These include heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and, if left untreated, heat stroke. Heat cramps occur when there is a change in the body's electrolyte balance. Dehydration is believed to play a role in the development of these heat cramps. Cramps may be relieved by drinking water or diluted sports drinks. In addition, massaging and stretching the cramping muscle can sometimes be beneficial in relieving the pain of the cramps. Heat exhaustion is caused by the loss of large amounts of fluid by sweating that results in the mild form of shock. A worker suffering from heat exhaustion continues to sweat, experiences dizziness, feels faint, has extreme weakness or fatigue, has uncoordinated actions, and is often dizziness, nausea, and a headache. With heat stroke, the person's skin is usually hot, dry, and red. The body temperature is usually 40 degrees Celsius or 105 degrees Fahrenheit or more. The person is often mentally confused, delirious, having convulsions, or is even unconscious. Let's now shift gears and take a look at the general procedures and requirements for heat stress prevention. Before starting your work, conduct an evaluation of the workplace to identify tasks and conditions that present a potential heat stress hazard. Although the Construction Hazard Assessment, or CHA, and the Job Hazard Analysis, or JHA, should identify the possibility of a heat awareness condition and specify corrective actions. The PSI is the primary means to evaluate and indicate heat stress conditions on a task-specific basis. The first thing to analyze is the specific locations of each task, including the proximity to heat-producing equipment. Then identify the schedule for the specific tasks, including how much time is required to perform the work. Determine how much time is required for the preparation, setup, actual task performance, and any normal breaks. Excessive overtime work, piecework, and machine-paced work are additional factors to consider. Each can cause fatigue and increase the potential for heat stress. Let's now discuss the various controls that you can use to reduce the risk of heat stress. It's always best to first attempt to control the heat using engineering controls. It's possible to set up ventilation and cooling systems using air conditioning, box fans, and even misting fans. Also, to help with airflow, open all available windows and doors. To help with radiant heat exposure, erect shade shelters or shields to protect workers from hot processes. And to control humidity, you can install dehumidifiers. There are also a number of administrative controls that you can do to control the heat. You can rotate workers in and out of hot areas. Then you can shut down heat-producing process equipment. Adjusting the work schedule to allow people to work during the coolest part of the day is also a very effective prevention technique. For example, consider working outside earlier in the morning or even at night instead of the mid-afternoon. Water is considered the best fluid replacement. Sweetened and carbonated drinks tend to inhibit the metabolic process that restores water to the cells, and this limits the effectiveness. If you choose to drink fruit juices or sports drinks, they should be diluted 50-50 with water prior to consumption. Also, drinks that are cooled between 50 and 60 Fahrenheit or 10 to 15 degrees Celsius better facilitate the absorption of water by the body. Now, in case you can prevent the heat stress, let's look at the symptoms and treatment for the heat stress. There are numerous warning signs and symptoms of the onset of a heat stress condition. First, a heat rash, for example, is likely to occur in hot, humid environments where sweat is not easily removed from the skin via evaporation. Heat rashes can be prevented by keeping the skin clean and allowing it to dry. Heat cramps occur when there's a change in the body's electrolyte balance. Heat cramps may be relieved by drinking water or diluted sports drinks and massaging and stretching the cramping muscles. Heat exhaustion is caused by the loss of large amounts of fluid by sweating that results in a mild form of shock. A worker suffering from heat exhaustion continues to sweat, may experience dizziness and feeling faint, may also have experienced extreme weakness or fatigue, may be uncoordinated, may be showing signs of giddiness, nausea, and may have a headache. The treatment for heat exhaustion involves having the worker rest in a cool place while drinking plenty of fluids. Usually after some time, the person's heat balance will recover. Heat stroke is the least common but most serious heat-related illness. As previously mentioned, heat stroke will always result in death if left untreated. This life-threatening illness occurs when the body's temperature regulatory system fails and sweating becomes inadequate to cool the body temperature. With heat, a person's skin is usually hot, dry, and red. The body temperature is usually 40 degrees Celsius or 105 degrees Fahrenheit or more. The person is often mentally confused, delirious, having convulsions, or is even unconscious. If you suspect someone is experiencing heat stroke, activate the site's emergency response plan and make sure that 911 has been called. Bring the person into a cool area. Provide water if conscious. Remove sweaty clothes and then cool them down with ice and wet towels.